Yeah, Ajit, how are you doing? How was your week?
Yeah, going on. It's good. As I told you that two batches of leaders I've taken.
Uh-huh.
Then I was training teachers in Sacred Heart
Okay.
yesterday for parents, around 150 parents. Then, yeah, something or the other every day is there.
Uh-huh. And your program with those managers is still going on?
It's going on. It's for 6 months, no, I told you.
A 6 months program, okay.
Yeah. And they had given me some particular, which I created a questionnaire I had sent you, no?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so they said you do this only because some McKinsey had done some activity on them and they found that they needed specifically a change in those aspects. So I created
Okay.
a questionnaire for those aspects.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. See, for me, I had something interesting. Maybe I can bounce off on you.
Tell
See,
me.
one thing which is really bothering me is if you look at it, in most of the companies, what they do is appears to be very complex, but it is basic common sense. In the sense, in one of the companies we are working with, there they have to increase the output on one machine. And in the other company, they want to make sure that the material handling is done properly so that the damages are not occurring. So for the handling to be done properly, they have designed a way of doing the handling and everybody should follow that. Whether you are in their front or not, they should follow it. And in the other case, when it comes to increasing the throughput and output from the machine, it's again very simple. Before you really start any production, you should be knowing what quantity you are doing, what production you are doing, and for that production, what all is required. So that if you need any tools, any gauges, keep it next to you, so that when you stop the machine, you consume the least time in starting the machine again. So once you do that, the output increases.
Correct.
So both these are not some things which you can continuously keep supervising. People should do it on their own with or without any supervision. So what do you think is the key for anybody to really follow something without being told?
Yeah. See, I had taken up one company which was an ancillary doing parts for your Bosch only. Okay?
Oh, I see. Okay.
So they had a lot of rejection and a lot of water wastage was there. So when I did a little work on them, I found out that I needed to work on their mindset.
Okay.
Now this company initially said, Ajit, see, we tried a lot of training, nothing worked. I said, you do one thing, you don't pay me, you see what is the end result, and then you decide.
Okay.
So the first thing I worked on is everywhere above the basin, close the tap after use and all, all this was there.
So, what do you call it as the slogans?
Yeah. But as you rightly pointed out, it has to come from inside.
Yeah.
So in my second training, I told them, do you know why the Marwadis are rich? So they said, no, they are good in business. I said, no, they are not good in business. When I had gone to Rajasthan, we ate food. And after that, the Rajasthani, Marwadi, washed his hands in the plate. He cleaned the plate and drank that water. And few of them made faces. Oh, why did you make the face? Sir, how can you do all these nonsense things? I said, look here. What that Marwadi told me is, with the same hand I'm eating now, same water I'm drinking, same plate I'm eating. Why Marwadis are rich is because we save every drop of water. And water and money are related. A person who wastes water will never be able to save money. He shaves off his life. With this sentence, you will not believe, in a month's time, the number of tankers they were buying came down. People started closing the tap because what was the thing which I have drilled? You waste water, your money will never be saved.
Yeah.
So when that worked, I found out a reason for everything, how to work on the mindset of the people.
Yeah.
And I started creating it. And that is how I could save the company lakhs of rupees. Finally, that year, and he gifted me with a few lakhs.
No, that's the same thing. That is very, very interesting because yesterday, what I did with this company was they had a problem in following a standard. So we ran a game wherein they were to juggle. There were 3 items. One was a cube, the other one was a dice, and the third one was a ball.
Okay.
So with these 3, they had to juggle. So I said, you create your own standard, whatever way you want to do it, and then try to juggle it without. And you should also make sure if you do a mistake, you should identify it yourself so that you could correct it. And so that went on. It went on and on for some time. And people started realizing that, look, it's not about telling somebody to do something unless it comes from within. It is not going to work out. It has to come from within. And when somebody needs to demonstrate this, I felt there are 3 things which are important. One is to practice before preaching. Whatever you are telling or whatever I am trying to explain, people should possibly practice it once before they preach something. That is something which is very important. And second is, normally we keep on demanding a lot once you become a manager, right? You keep demanding. So before demanding, discussing is required. Discuss before demanding is very, very important. And the third one, which I felt could be the 3 kind of pillars for making sure people work on their own. Trust before taunting. Trust before taunting. That is, if suppose somebody did some mistake or whatever it is, whatever he did, instead of blaming and putting a finger on somebody, trust that person first. Give that trust. In my opinion, if you look at it, because the person who is asking you to practice something has never practiced on his own. The manager who is telling you try to close the tap in the company, whichever you spoke about, I'm sure he would have gone to the restaurant and come out without closing the tap.
Absolutely.
He would have not done that at all. And seeing that, the others also would not have followed it. So I remember in my experience, that water thing really directly connected with me. Every time I would go to the toilet, I would only walk to all the taps and close the taps and come. I would do that regularly. Okay, I would not really ask somebody. If it is leaking means I will call the maintenance guy. The tap is not closed, I'll go to all the taps and close and come. So people who are coming next to me, standing there, they would also see what I am doing. And once in a while, I'll ask them, see, I keep doing this, you have seen that, but why don't others do that? No, it doesn't take much time. It is not something, it is not big. So that practicing itself will evolve behavior in an organization is what I feel. And the next is in terms of demand. If you have to demand something, it is important that you discuss. Make sure that the person understands why you're demanding something, what is the objective, what is the purpose. Similarly, what you did, that discussion is something which is extremely important. And trusting before taunting is equally important because you have to trust them. They're the ones doing the job, not you, right? I don't know whether that resonates with you. Practice before preaching, discuss before demanding, and trust before taunting.
Okay. Now, I will just come to this. I have realized one thing. Yeah. See, practice before preaching, what happens, I'll tell you. Whatever you talk comes from your heart because you're practicing it.
If you're
not talking something from your head. Correct. It is not intellectual understanding. It is something which you're doing.
Correct.
Okay. Even if they have not seen it, there will be a positive vibration in your talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, if you are only giving intellectual talk, the vibrational frequency is less.
It will not really correct.
Whereas if you are doing it and you talk it, then the vibration is so powerful, people can realize, people can.
Yeah, correct.
So that is number one.
Correct.
Then trust before taunt. See, trust is nothing but depositing in the feel-good factor of your juniors.
Correct.
Now you are depositing in the feel-good factor of your juniors. Once in a way, if you withdraw, it is tolerable.
Correct.
But all the time I'm correcting and I'm not doing the deposits, then there is a problem.
Correct.
Okay. Third. Now, if these two are only there, it will not produce impact.
Correct.
So the third level is repercussions have to be told.
Correct. Demand and the discussion what is the impact.
Repercussions. If you don't do it, I am not going to do anything. But let me tell you very clearly, why is somebody born in the slum and why is somebody born in an elite home? If I am working in this company only for my month-end salary, I am withdrawing from my... See, there is one physical bank account, there is one psychological bank account, and there is one existential bank account. If you are taking the money and not giving the returns back to the company, you will have an unbelievably negative life. Are you getting the picture? These repercussions, Dinakar, whether you like it or not, has been working with me very, very well. The way I put it, no? He works.
So you said one is psychological, one is, what are the three bank accounts?
One is physical.
Physical, which is the actual money.
Actual bank balance. Then is your psychological bank account. That is a feel good factor.
That means you feel good having worked there.
There the trust will come.
No, you feel good, or you basically
you make them feel good. You make them, you deposit in their psychological bank balance.
Okay, that is the emotional bank account is what I call
it. Yes. Okay. See, actually, emotional bank balance and psychological bank balance, how are they different? I mean, since the topic has come, let me discuss with you. Emotional bank balance means what emotions you have in the now. And I'm depositing. It gets accumulated in the psychological bank. Psychology is something which happens after storing. Emotion is what is in the now. Are you getting the picture?
So see why I got this concept from 7 Habits of Highly Effective People long time back. Emotional bank account is similar to what he says as a psychological bank account, where you are doing deposits and withdrawals.
Correct.
One deposit is equal to 1/10 of a withdrawal. That means one withdrawal is equal to 10 deposits.
Absolutely. And depends on the intensity of the deposit also.
Correct.
Like one person, one of the person, he called me, manager called me, sir, I'm not getting leave. And you had told me that any one of the juniors, if they are admitted and all, just pay a half-an-hour visit and come back. But my MD is not giving leave. So I called the MD and he gave the, that 1 hour, this thing, 2 hours, because going and coming and all. And it made a lot of difference. So whether you call it emotional, psychological, if you have understood, more than enough.
Correct. And what is the third one?
Third one is the existential.
Okay, what is that?
Existential is, why is somebody born in a slum and why is somebody born in an elite home?
Okay.
So have you made deposits there? That for what I am getting, am I giving more than that? That is, service has to be, that's why we say observe, you have to serve. Then serve, then you deserve from service.
Okay.
So if that is what you do, observe, serve, deserve, that will deposit in your existential bank balance.
Okay.
And this repercussion thing works very well, sir.
Okay. No, I think it is basically the magic of life, right? In the sense that it is wisdom of life.
Absolutely.
Because you cannot only work on one platform. It's a all-round 360 degree.
Absolutely.
And there it is quite interesting that people keep, what do you call it as, there is a very strong motivation for commitment. People commit something and then say that I'm going to do, but then nothing much happens, And this is something which is quite an interesting challenge in any company, which gets overcome with whatever methodology I use or you use, where you work on the mindset, work on the experiential learning. That really makes a big difference.
Okay, let me tell you what I do. If you want people to develop commitment, create love for the job. Okay? So what I do is, commitment doesn't come till you love the job. So I make them to sit down and help them to create the love for their job. How do I do it? I tell them, write down all the benefits of you working here.
Okay.
And can you tell me what are the things which are negative. And then you address all the negatives and ask them to see whether they can write it off. They strike it off. And when it should be minimum 3:1. Negatives should be only 1/3. Positives should be 3/4. So first I ask them to write down what they like and what they don't like about their jobs. Invariably, what they don't like is more than what they like. Then I tell them, see, if my commitment has to come, my positives have to be 3 times more. Okay? Just like purpose and consciousness are connected, perspective and clarity is connected, passion and commitment is connected, preparedness and consistency is connected. So these 4 pillars, PC is my mind, personal computer is my mind. So these are the 4 pillars I work upon.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something which is very, very interesting, Ajit. Where we could possibly collaborate. I think we have been talking about that. Nothing really came out of that. See, if you have, let us say, 2 sessions, one this week and the other one after 2 weeks or after 4 weeks or whatever. In between those 2 sessions, some activities which they do could further, what is the word for that? Concretize the learning. Further, whatever, see, that emotional experience during that session will be fantastic.
Yeah.
Everybody have a wow feeling.
Correct.
But that fizzles out over time, because you know about this tubular Ross curve, right? That means whenever we get a shock, whenever we get a surprise, initially there is some kind of a negation. Initially there is a shock. After the shock, there is negation. Then in the negation phase, I'm telling what he all said was bullshit, right? It doesn't really make sense because my earlier beliefs keep surfacing more and more. And unless there is some kind of a reinforcement of whatever that has been taught, that has been exposed to, the negation phase will be very long. Where people are telling that, look, what he said was really nice, but it doesn't make any sense. If it is okay with you, I'll just show you that graph. It may make sense. And after that, one becomes aware, saying that is the reality. I need to know change. So when that realization comes, then there is a kind of a depression phase, where one gets into a kind of a depressive mode, saying that, look, whatever I've been doing is of no use. My confidence level comes down. And once that confidence level comes down, that is when people start venturing into doing something new, so that they can experience something different than what they were doing till now, which then will give them a better way of looking at life, and they'll try out new things. And that's when the new learnings would get internalized. Have you heard of this curve? This is something which is what is also called as the what is the word for that? Change curve. I'll just show it to you. 1 second.
Please.
I just need to share my screen. Yeah, there you are. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. There are so many things in the screen. Rather confusing. 1 second. Yeah, you can see the screen now?
Yeah.
So this curve says that you initially have, whenever there is some kind of activity, whatever that you are in, if you come through some shock, which is what happens in your event, then there is a realization, quick realization. Then after that, there is a denial phase. Because the mind has been trained to work in a certain way for so long, and suddenly somebody tells something different that looks inspiring, but then it is not really what I can believe in, because that's only for a fraction of a second. Whereas for 30 years, I have believed in something different. So there is a natural denial phase. During the denial phase, there is a disbelief, and that is the essence of denial phase. There, what one would do as a strategy would be confidently seeking to evidence to disprove. That means I'm trying to seek evidence during the denial phase. I seek evidence confidently to disprove your theory, whatever you taught me. Okay. And then there is a judgment phase after some time, because I would not really be. And it is very interesting that some people are in this phase for years together.
Absolutely.
And some people are in this phase only for a few of seconds. And then you come to the judgment phase where you recognize that the things are different and you feel angry at some point of time because you feel angry at yourself. And then comes the acceptance phase, which is lack of mood, low mood, lacking energy, depression kind of a feeling. And then you start venturing initial attempts in the new situation. You accept that situation as the reality, accept your learning as the new reality, and then you start venturing, what can I do? Then you start trying to take decisions. You learn at work to improve in the new situation, and then you get a positive feeling, and then you integrate your new learning into your habits. Okay, this curve is something which we go throughout the day, throughout the month, throughout the year, throughout years, decades, and some throughout the life also. And the strategy during shock is to reinforce the reality, which you would do during the training program. I also would do during the training program. And during the denial phase, this is something which we don't know, because this happens after the training program, where they have gone back and spoken to the friends, etc. And then at that point, the most important thing is to create alignment. And then comes the next one, the judgment phase, where you create maximize the communication. And finally, at this point, you spark motivation. That this is the point when somebody starts improving. Okay. And then here you develop the capability, share the know-how. Any know-how you share, people will assume you may get that immediately and start working to further improve. And then celebrate once you have identified the new path. Now, so what I have been doing is, after the program is done, I basically give them an app. That is the doHow app which I use. And in the doHow app, they basically would get some activities to be done on their own. And these activities would be directly related to whatever content I have shown, I have explained to them. For example, yesterday I was talking about standards. So the week activity would be to take a photo. Every day they have to take a photo of one standard in their company.
Okay.
That means they have to go search, find out where there is a standard and take a photo of that standard.
Okay.
Just one in a company. So it is not about, and that is basically trying to get them back in the same track to look at the standards. And next week, once they have taken the photos of the standards, that is an app. So that gets uploaded to me, I can monitor it. And I can also create a scoreboard, whether who is doing it, who is not doing it. So within 2 sessions of mine, the seriousness comes in telling that, look, whatever we learned here, we need to really put it in place. So if you are interested, we could possibly collaborate and work on that and try to develop that model.
Definitely. See, I'll tell you what I do. So now you'll know what I'm doing. I took 3 days of outbound program. And now every week I am covering minimum 45 minutes to 1.5 hours.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do I have the rights to show you my screen? I will.
Yeah, you can, of course. Just share screen, more and share screen.
Yeah. Okay. So what I do is, can you see?
Yeah, very much.
Okay. So what I do is, I tell them, see, during pandemic, 2 days, the Paura Karmikas didn't come to my house and we could not enter the kitchen. So we went and threw this out. But unfortunately, the accumulated garbage outside was stinking and we simply couldn't. I'm consolidating half an hour class in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So there is an accumulated garbage which is inside me and it stinks. So what is that garbage? Greed, anger, regret, belief systems, apprehensions, grief, and enslavement. So this is the garbage.
Correct.
So what am I going to do? This eliminate. I am going to remove this and fill it with grit, approach, resilience, belief in self, adapt, grace, enthusiasm.
Okay.
So now what I do is, I tell them, okay, let's break into discussion rooms. And we are going to find out how to eliminate this and how to elevate this. In the bargain, in the end, I tell them, okay, now each one is going to present in 2 minutes how you are going to put into practice what you discussed. Everybody is going to tell that. Then afterwards, I tell them, okay, now written assignment. I want to improve your writing skills. As managers, I find you all are only writing two, three lines, all technical things. But tomorrow, if you have to write a report and something big happens, if you don't know how to write, it's a big problem. So you write it down, how you are going to change what promise you made to me. So sir, that has created such a big impact. You cannot believe it, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely gets responsibility, gets accountability.
Because 3 times they've already been drilled into this. And every week I will come out with something new.
Super.
Very
super. So
every day I will show you what I do. Every day, whether you like it or not. Can you see or no? You can't.
No, not yet. You have not shared it.
Yeah, I will share it. Every day, I will create some very interesting posters like this. And it is sent every day. 6 o'clock in the morning, it goes.
Yeah, you keep sharing in the WhatsApp groups, right? I see that.
I may not be sending it to everyone, but this is on performance. And sometimes I take a class on that. Then the power of practice. And if it is up to me, all these things. Every day I send a mail. Every day means every day. Something which is very nice, I also take a class for them. Like this.
Excellent.
Every day means 6 o'clock. The day I'm little delayed, I'll get so many phone calls. So we have not got today's material.
So really nice. Let's touch base and then we work out something possibly so that we can make it more scalable.
Yes. And all these things, I'm finding the impact is unbelievable.
Yeah, obviously, because you're touching at the heart, right? At the core of the individual. It's not.
Absolutely.
So that definitely has a huge impampact, huge effectiveness. Not only at work, but also in their life. It's a holistic activity.
Yes. The HR vice president called me. Ajit, what magic you are doing here. They're only talking about you. What is this training you are doing? Then I told him, sir, one thing is, your company was ready to experiment what I told you. See that graph you showed me, you would realize I'm literally flushing out all the negatives on a day.
Correct.
So there is no chance of negativity entering again. Correct. And now the teams have started performing better. Because they are changing, their approach is changing. Their trust is changing.
Absolutely. Super. Thank you so much. So let's look forward to our next discussion next Sunday or whenever you are free.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay.